Guys, the time has come. UFC 322 is here. It's the biggest fight card of the year by far. We got a banger main event. JDM versus Islam Makhachev for the welterweight strap. Are you fucking kidding me? Man, we got banger prelims, and I'm breaking down every single fight on the card, starting with the first prelim all the way to the main event. Because who the fuck wouldn't break down this card? Who the fuck wouldn't watch this card? The bars are going to be packed. Everyone's going to be tuned in. Second to last pay-per-view of the year. This is going to have the most effect on the beginning of 2026. All right? Big stakes on the line. Tons of stuff on the line here. Legacy. Aura. Embarrassment. Who knows what could happen during this card? Number one contender fights, possibly. Lightweight contender fights. There's a welterweight showdown on this card. Without further ado, let's get straight into this shit. On the UFC website, it says Khamzat's teammate Susurkaev is first on the early prelims. And he's fighting McConico. Yo. Alright, let's start with Susurkaev. Alright, news flash. Breaking news. I'm picking Susurkaev. Now, we gotta talk about his last fight against, what's his name? Eric Nolan? That guy was actually piecing up Susurkaev. Now, Susurkaev was a huge favorite. But man, he was playing around. He was laughing in there when he got hit. But he forearm blocked. He covered up pretty well. He knew, I just knew that he had that wrestling in his back pocket. No wonder, right? He trains with Khamzat Chimaev. He had crazy back takes. He would just throw Nolan down whenever he wanted, as he pleased. Even though he got cracked, he still was using movement. He still kept a high guard. He wasn't just hands low. He wasn't getting that cocky. But he does have decent striking, and when the going gets tough, he can snag a body lock and throw you to the ground and start beating the shit out of you. And then he put Nolan in the worst position. Flattened him out in his stomach and just started raining down punches. Now, McConico, he's alright. His first fight in the UFC was against Razaboyev. That wasn't impressive. He got knocked out by a ginormous middleweight, Razaboyev. But after that, he put on a barn burner. And arguably, McConico won his last fight. And the name of his last fight was, oh yeah, Cody Brundage. Him and Cody Brundage got into a scrap. They were throwing down. I thought Cody Brundage won that fight. But they gave it to McConico. Good for him. Because now he earned a spot on the biggest card of the year. But with that being said, there's a lot of praise on Susurkaev. He's undefeated. We all know he's more technical. And I already told you guys I'm picking him. But last thing. He's southpaw. He switches stances like fucking crazy. I gotta look at my notes because there's a lot to say about this guy. Like I said, the body lock takedowns, we went over that. He's got the high guard. He can take a shot. He does have a chin. And he kicks a lot. A lot of fighters on this card are great kickers. And a lot of them go leg. They go low. Then they go to the body. Then they go up top to the head. When you go leg, body, head with those kicks, your opponent doesn't know what the fuck's coming. Let me tell you. And yeah, he might have some problems against the southpaw McConico, but I'm going Susurkaev. He's going to keep his undefeated record. And I think he's going to win by TKO. Call me crazy, he's going to win by TKO. Moving on, Angela Hill versus Fatima Kline. Angela over the Hill is on my great UFC 322 card. What the fuck are you doing on my 322 card? Strawweight bout, huh? Perfect name for the division. The UFC is grasping at straws with this weight class. Let's go with, I don't know, who looks more masculine? Who looks more masculine? Let's go with Angela over the Hill. Alright, moving on. What the fuck? Kyle Daukaus versus Gerald Meerschaert, GM3. The guy who was piecing up Rainer de Ritter on his first fight. Man, Some people like Gerald Meerschaert. Maybe he goes for the kill. There's always a finish in his fights. The problem is he's always the one getting finished now. Michał Leśniak fucked him up. The Polish Power fucked him up. Hamzat knocked him out with one punch. Hamzat knocked him out with one punch. I can't believe this guy's still in the UFC. And not just because those losses. He just lost his last fight. It was so brutal. Yeah, against Polish Power. And then before that, Brad Tavares beat him. Then Rainer de Ritter beat him. And his last win is against Shabazian? I guess that was in 2024, but I don't care. This guy is worse than what it seems. I'm telling you, on paper, he may look decent, but he's so slow in there. He can't even... There's no explosiveness in his strikes. Does this guy do strength and conditioning? I know he does jiu-jitsu, but he must have been training only in the gi. He's got the slowest twitch muscle fibers. GM3. How many times is the UFC going to let this guy get knocked out? That's the question. How many times is the UFC going to let GM3 get knocked out? Now, Kyle Daukaus, he isn't the best. He lost to a lot of good fighters, but he had a comeback win. I think the UFC booted him. Then he got a few wins in a different organization. Returned to the UFC, and he knocked out Michel Pereira, that goofy Brazilian who wants to break dance in the middle of the octagon every single fight. The dude gasses himself out. What an embarrassment. But yeah, Kyle Daukaus knocked him out, Michel Pereira. In round 1, too. How embarrassing. I don't even think Kyle Daukaus is that good. But I will never pick GM3. I will never pick GM3. I'm sorry, bro. Nothing against you. But I think the UFC should cut you for your own health and safety because you're going to get cut in this fight, literally. I'm going Kyle Daukaus. I refuse to pick GM3. Moving on. This might be my favorite prelim on the card for as long as it's going to last, all right? We got Malcolm Wellmaker, the machine from Georgia. You heard me right. He's a machine and he's from Georgia. Not country Georgia, though. The state in the USA. The irony, though. I think he's going to be the future bantamweight champ. And if that's not foreshadowing, what is? And he's fighting Cody Haddon from Australia. Now, Cody Haddon, he's had a Dana White Contender Series fight. And he looked pretty scrappy in there. Good wrestler, has takedowns. Moves forward. I think he dropped his opponent with the left hook. Then he had his first official UFC fight, won a decision. Pretty well-rounded prospect, but sorry, bro. Sorry. You're fighting Malcolm Wellmaker? Malcolm fucking Wellmaker? This guy has the hardest punching right hook in the game right now. His hook is up there with the likes of Alex Pereira. You know Alex Pereira's left hook put out Jamal Hill? Malcolm Wellmaker's right hook knocked out Cameron Simon. He literally decapitated his head off of his shoulders and sent it into the bleachers. And then after that, he knocked out the guy O'Malley couldn't even drop. He knocked out, what the fuck's that guy's name? He's always getting kicked out of the UFC, then they brought him back. Matinho, Chris Matinho. Chris with a K, Matinho. He had the green hair when he fought O'Malley. O'Malley beat him up for 3 rounds, but couldn't even drop him. Dude kept walking down O'Malley like a zombie until Herb Dean just intervened and he's like, all right, enough. This fight's over. We didn't need any ref to stop the fight and help Malcolm Wellmaker knock out Chris Matinho. Malcolm Wellmaker's right hook did enough. I'm talking one punch KOs back to back with that right hook. And if we want to get technical, he switches stances like crazy, Malcolm Wellmaker. He will be like in southpaw, then he'll switch to righty, throw a body kick, right? He'll throw a roundhouse to your ribs, and then he'll step again and become southpaw and throw that right hook. So he'll be in righty and then make his right leg his lead leg as he throws that right hook. It puts more power on it. It almost makes it a rear hook, but he's throwing it mid-stance switch. So it becomes his lead hook, and he ends up in southpaw. And he doesn't even need to hit you with a follow-up punch. Malcolm Wellmaker. Is there anything else I could say about Malcolm Wellmaker? Southpaw, like we said, that's tricky stuff. But lethal right hook, switching stances. And it's not just the hands, that body kick sets it up. He sets up that right hook like no other. But yeah, I think he's going to beat Cody Haddon. Nothing against Cody Haddon. Seems decent, seems scrappy. But Malcolm Wellmaker, I'm predicting, is going to be a champion at the 135-pound weight class. I'm telling you, he's going to be champ. Whenever he moves up, I'm guaranteeing when he gets in the rankings, people are going to be dodging him left and right. Topuria's brother doesn't even want that smoke, all right? Topuria's brother doesn't even want that smoke. I'm going Malcolm Wellmaker. First round knockout, second round knockout at most. I'm going under 2.5 rounds for Malcolm Wellmaker, the machine from Georgia. Watch out, Marab. Watch out. Next up, we got Blanchfield versus Aaron Blanchfield versus Tracy Cortez. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I don't fucking know. Eeny, meeny, miny, no. I don't fucking know. Tracy Cortez. Next up. So this really isn't the featured prelim, huh? We got Roman Kopylov, a.k.a. the middleweight Chase Hooper, versus Robocop, Gregory Rodriguez, Barack Obama on steroids, whatever you want to call him. I have a boatload of names for the guy, right? Roman Kopylov, I thought he was a decent fighter until he looked like shit against Costa. Costa snapped his losing streak against Roman Kopylov. I just watched that fight. Costa dropped Kopylov with that right hook. Dropped him bad. Kopylov was gun shy as hell. Never seen him so timid. And after he got dropped by it, Costa was just hitting him with kicks to the ribs, kicks to the shin, kicks up top. Like I said, there's a lot of fighters that go leg. They go low, they go body, and then they go up top to the head with their power kick. I swear, Roman Kopylov got kicked so bad. Paulo Costa kicked his ass. Literally. And that right hand kept landing on Kopylov. Kopylov only had one good moment in his last fight, and it was his right hook. He landed a nice right hook. But anytime he threw that jab out there, Paulo Costa countered him, stalked him, beat him up with roundhouse kicks and right hands all night. And Costa's got power. But so does Gregory Rodriguez, Robocop. He's an imposing middleweight. Dude looks like he's 90 years old. But I think he's still got more fight in him than a 90-year-old. He beat the Joker his last fight. It's fucked up what he did to the Joker. That was really fucked up. Knocked him out with a huge right hand. The Joker was already knocked out. It would have been a cool walk-off, but nope. Gregory Rodriguez had to try to kill him with the hammer fist from hell. Like, dude, he was already sleeping. Poor Jack Hermanson. This guy's got power. He does have grappling if he needs it, right? I don't think Kopylov is just going to take him down and control him. Robocop can grapple. He can defend takedowns. His biggest weakness is his cardio, though. His biggest weakness is for sure the cardio. I can see Kopylov winning the third round if he doesn't get knocked out. But I definitely can see Robocop walking him down, being more aggressive, less gun shy, and landing harder punches, harder strikes. Devastating leg kicks. I don't think Robocop's going to be as gun shy. Unless Kopylov is using all this movement and can't be touched. Unless he really brings the speed. But he looked gun shy his last fight. And Costa beat him to the punch. I don't think Robocop is going to have a field day here. I won't be surprised if it goes to decision. But I know for sure if there's a finish, it's going to be from a Robocop knockout. Either a left hook or a right hand down the middle. By the time Robocop gasses out, it's going to be too little too late for Kopylov, right? I mean, I'm looking at it like this. Who would you rather fight? Kopylov or Robocop? Robocop's way more dangerous. Let's go Robocop. Second round TKO. Actually, it'll be a knockout. But this guy's evil, man. He's going to follow up with a hammer fist after he knocks you out. Ref, stop the fight ASAP if Robocop knocks out Kopylov, the middleweight Chase Hooper. Stop it ASAP. He's going to try to kill him. Don't let Herb Dean ref this fight. He stands a block away from the fighters, and he always gets there way too late. Keep Herb Dean away. Keep all the refs away, actually. All the refs we thought were good. They're all corrupt, I guess. Let's end the corruption this card. I want no robberies. I want no bullshit decisions. I want no bullshit ref calls. I want the ref to call it straight the whole fucking card. Whatever ref it is. I want to see eye pokes deducted immediately. I want to see points taken away for eye pokers, accidental or not. Thank you. Let's end this bullshit, alright? Isn't the FBI watching this card? No faking shit this card, alright? Now, I will know if they're faking it if Bo Nickal wins by a devastating knockout. Now, that'll for sure tell me that was a rigged fight. Moving on. Did I give my answer for this fight? Robocop, second round TKO. Moving on. Bo Nickal versus Rodolfo Vieira. I got Bo Nickal first round by Dana White fixing. Just kidding. Allegedly. Entertainment purposes only. That's the only way Bo Nickal's going to win, is if they do some rigging, they do some fixing. Because Rodolfo Vieira, I watched his last fight. He looks like the better fighter than Bo Nickal to me. He's got a pretty nasty jab. He's got a snappy jab. He's got snappy straight punches. He goes to the body with that jab. When he goes up top, then he goes with the two to the body. So he's a body shot striker. Mostly just throws the jab and the cross, the one and the two. But he's pretty quick. And he's a real legit black belt in jiu-jitsu. Like a legit black belt in jiu-jitsu. World class on the ground. Wrestling's alright. His last fight against Tresean Gore only got him down for a second. Never really got him down. Never really put Gore on his back and like mounted him and landed strikes. Or he never really had a full-on submission attempt, right? But he was just cruising by with the striking. Tresean Gore couldn't take down Vieira, so he was just landing the 1-2. Jab to the head, cross to the body all night, and won pretty easily. I was impressed. So I'm thinking, if he's a black belt, is Bo Nickal really going to take him down? And if he does, is Bo Nickal really going to do shit with it? Speaking of Bo Nickal, let's get into Bo. Let's get into Bo Nickal, alright? This guy lost against Rainer de Quitter, alright? Bo Nickal. Thank God. Actually, shout out to the UFC for keeping this on the prelims as well. Shout out to the UFC. It's a great time right now. I am so happy. We bullied the UFC into making Bo Nickal on the prelims. I love it. We bullied the UFC into taking Bo Nickal off the main card. Hey, they were listening. What can I say? They watched my vids. My rant fucking worked. But speaking of Bo Nickal, this is the featured prelim. It's where you belong. Your last fight against Rainer de Quitter. Man, oh man. Let's first say what you did good, because that'll only take a second. Immediately in the fight, Bo Nickal went for a hip toss against Rainer de Ritter in the clinch. Couldn't get it, but he used that to get an ankle pick. And he ankle picked Rainer de Ridder and threw him down. I was like, sweet. Bo Nickal's doing good. I picked Bo Nickal to win that fight. I'll admit it. I picked Bo Nickal to win that fight. But he got the takedown. And a little scramble happened. And RDR was trying to get up. And Bo Nickal had a front headlock. And you know what this dumbass does? Tries to pull guillotine. He pulls guillotine when he has a front headlock on Rainer de Ridder. Like, that's going to work. Like, Rainer de Ridder hasn't seen a guillotine before. And I thought you were this awesome Penn State wrestler. I thought you were this awesome wrestler. Yeah, you got that ankle pick. But nothing mattered after that, really. Horrible decision making on the ground. I felt panic that whole fight from Bo Nickal. Just felt panic from him. I'm like, is this guy not getting pushed hard enough in the gym or what? Because RDR landed those knees. And he landed a couple pepper strikes against the fence. And Bo Nickal crumbled in round 2. Folded like a lawn chair. He dropped to the ground so fucking quick. He was just an anchor. And he sunk. And I don't think that was a dive. And he got wrecked. So, you know. My question is, how is this guy training? Because I heard an interview of him. He was on this podcast with a bunch of yes men standing around him. And he was talking about how he lost to RDR. He's like, I got hit with tough body shots. He was like, you can't prepare for that in the gym. I was like, hold up. You can't prepare for hard body shots in the gym? Now, I know about the liver shot. That'll freeze you up no matter how tough you are. But I'm just talking about normal body shots. Not exactly the liver shot, just a body shot. You can prepare for that in the gym, Bo Nickal. You have sparring partners. They don't have to try to knock you out, but they should definitely try to dig to the body and try to hurt you there and see if you can handle it. Or you should be standing against the wall and you should let teammates, do that one drill on you. But to say you've never been hit with a body shot, he's like, you can't prepare for those body shots, man. You can't prepare for that in the gym. Never felt a hard body shot. Like, what? Now, I'm not saying the training partner's got to knee your ribs and break your ribs before your fight. I'm not saying that. But someone in Bo Nickal's gym should be definitely not taking it so easy on him where he's never been hit with a devastating body punch. And he doesn't even know what it feels like. That's why he was so inexperienced and folded like that and crumbled in that one sequence. I think they're babying him in the gym. They're probably keeping him away from the guys that give him a rough time. They don't want to ruin his confidence. It's Bo Nickal. It's company man Bo Nickal, guys. I got Rodolfo Vieira. Winning a 3-round decision. I don't think Bo's going to get risky and shoot the takedowns. He's embarrassed. If his takedown gets stuffed, if he fails the takedown, he's embarrassed. He's going to ruin his Penn State reputation. So I don't think Vieira's going to get the sub. But on the feet, Vieira's better than Bo Nickal. What does he got? These overhands? That's it. Overhand. This isn't Paul Craig, bro. You could try all you want, but he's not Paul Craig. I got Vieira a 3-round decision, but I'm actually rooting for Bo Nickal. I don't know why. Just because he's more of a name. Wrestling dads, bro. The wrestling dads love Bo Nickal. He's just more of a name. I think there's more funner build-ups and matchups if Bo Nickal wins. Vieira kind of seems NPC, kind of seems boring. But yeah, guys, he's the better fighter. Vieira, 3-round decision. Oh, shit. $80 pay-per-view. Here it is. Now, this is a solid, stacked card. Solid. I'm just going to admire it for 1 second. All right. This was the fight that was going to be the featured prelim main event. Can you believe it? We got Beneil Dariush versus Benoit Saint Denis. We got Benny D from the US fighting BSD. That's a lot of D names right there. Benny D versus BSD. Not BDSM. But he might get beat. He might lose this fight. He might get beat. Where do you start in this fight? Who the fuck knows? To me, this is one of the biggest question marks on this whole card. You don't know if this is just going to be a striking match. You don't know a match. This is a fight. You don't know if this is going to be going on the ground because they both shoot takedowns, especially BSD. But Benny D is a true black belt, outgrappled Moicano. We seen what Moicano did to BSD. But speaking of all the good kickers on this card that go low, they go to the leg, they go to the body, then they go up top. That's Beneil Dariush. That left power kick he has is money. These guys are both lefties. They're both southpaws. So that's pretty interesting right there. Benoit Saint Denis does the same thing with his left power leg. He goes low, he goes to the body, then he goes up top. Beneil Dariush, he's known for that famous Falcon punch, just like in Super Smash Bros. I mean, he fucking winds up from here like he's throwing a baseball. And he hit Mateusz Gamrot so fucking hard with the most winded up Falcon punch I've ever seen. Gamrot went flying. That was badass. Benny D is a scrapper. The way he knocked out the guy from Michigan with the Michigan tattoo. Drakkar Klose. That was a fight of the night. That was a banger. Well-rounded as it gets. He lost to Armin. He lost to Charles. Charles kneed him in the face. Armin hit him with a punch. They KO'd him early. But he had a comeback win against Moicano. Looked pretty damn good. I'm a fan of Benny D. Let's talk about BSD. Like I said, BSD, I underestimated him against the Fighting Nerd. I'll tell you that. I thought Rufy would do way better. Rufy fought with a horrible IQ against BSD in France. Maybe it's something about France right now. Why are all the French fighters doing so fucking good? Did they steal all the energy and aura from the Fighting Nerds? Not aura. Sorry, not aura. But did they zap the Fighting Nerds? I feel like the Fighting Nerds got sacrificed for all the French fighters. Every France fighter won on the last card. And then cheater Cyril Gane gets rewarded for eye poking. These French guys can't lose lately. Ferro won the last fight even. These French guys can't lose lately. What's going on here? What are they eating in France? What did they change? BSD impressed me that last fight. He was supposed to lose against Ruffy, but ended him on the ground, took him down, beat him up, rear naked choked him. It was a face crank, but he also kind of beat him in the striking too. BSD has better takedown entries than Dariush. Like, he'll go head kick straight to a double leg, Benoit Saint Denis. He's got a judo background as well. And he could throw flurries of punches and then push you up against the fence. And he did that to Rufy. Now, he can't do that to Benny D that easily. But he disguises the takedown better than Benny D with the strikes, no doubt. Head kick straight to a double leg. That's sick. He improved a lot. I thought he was kind of a slow striker, you know. He didn't look good against Kyle Prepelic. Some newcomer, some nobody, right? Kyle Prepelic. I think Kyle Prepelic had moments against BSD in the striking. I would say Dariush has a better fight IQ, though. I'm going Beneil Dariush in a close fight, in a 3-round scrap, back and forth action. Shout out to the UFC for actually listening to me and the fans and putting this on the main card. Moving on. Leon Edwards versus Carlos Prates. I'm going to say it straight up. I'm going with Carlos Prates, but I think Edwards has a chance because Edwards hasn't gotten to fight a striker in a long time. All he's been facing is grapplers. I'm talking Usman, grappler, was shooting takedowns. Colby, Bilal. When's the last time Edwards fought someone who wasn't a wrestler? Oh yeah, Nate Diaz against Nate fucking Diaz. But that being said, when was the last time Leon Edwards been in a 3-round fight? He's already a slow starter as it is. Yeah, he's got good striking, good kicks, sometimes elbows off the break. Clean striker, looks good on the pads. He pieced up Nate Diaz. I mean, he did his thing. Knocked out Usman last second. Beat him in the rematch. But he hasn't looked impressive in about 3 fights, man. I'm telling you. Got smoked by Sean Brady his last fight. The irony, Sean Brady's on this card. He's the next fight up. But what's Edwards going to do? He has a chance. It's going to be interesting to see him against another striker. But the thing is, he's so fucking patient, like I said. So calculated. Not the biggest risk taker. And he's been fighting 5-round fights. His last handful of fights on top of that. So I think Prates is going to get off to the faster start here. Prates had a first-round knockout his last fight. Didn't even need a round 2. Spinning elbow, knockout. These guys both fight at range. These guys both like using the distance. But Prates, he's more rangier than Leon Edwards, I'm guessing. He could probably land kicks where Leon Edwards can't. He can hit Edwards where Edwards can't hit him. Prates, the only stop he's had, the only blemish on his record in the UFC really is Ian Gary. And he was just a little too hesitant that fight. But we all saw what he did to Ian Gary round 5. Ian Gary was crawling to the fence for his life. Prates did more damage in that fight. And that comeback against Neal, that spinning elbow, Prates is way more unpredictable than Leon Edwards, guys. Prates is way more unpredictable than Leon Edwards. He sticks to the basics. He's a Muay Thai fighter. The leg kicks are there. He's always chopping at the leg. I think he chops at the leg better than Edwards. He has a snappy, straight punch. A dangerous left hand. I think his power punch is more dangerous than Leon Edwards. His left hand's put out plenty of people. And it rocked Ian Gary. They both got good kicks. They both got knees. Prates got elbows in the clinch too. He was going for some crazy upwards elbows against Jeff Neal. Rewatch that fight. He was going for elbows at crazy angles. I think Prates' timing is better. He gets the timing down quick. I think he's the best fighting nerd. Him or Gene Silva. Maybe Gene Silva. I don't know. Probably Prates. I'm going Carlos Prates. And when he wins, it's usually by KO. But I think he's going to have scary moments in there. I won't be surprised if Edward stumbles him and hits him with a good clean strike. I won't be surprised if Edwards can counter him here and there. I think Edwards is actually going to surprise a lot of people. I think so. I think Prates is going to give him opportunities to look better than he has against these wrestlers. Leon Edwards had no opportunity to do shit against Sean Brady. Brady smothered him. I'm going Prates in a barn burner. I'm going with the Prates KO, probably end of round 2, round 3. I'm going with the late knockout for Carlos Prates against Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards, I don't think he can handle these blemishes on his record. For some reason, I don't feel like he can come back from that. I feel like he's in his head too much. He's in his own head. Carlos Prates, late knockout. End of round 2, sometime in round 3. Carlos Prates. Probably with that fucking elbow, but who knows? He can use any tool. That left hand or that elbow, it's going to happen. I'm glad they added this next fight. A lot of people have been downplaying this guy, Sean Brady. We got Sean Brady versus Michael Morales. Has that guy been caught in a dress or something? I heard some rumors, but anyway. Sean Brady versus Michael Morales. Speaking of what's been going on in the UFC with some strange skeptical fights, did you see that Michael Morales Gilbert Burns fight? That looked like Gilbert Burns didn't even try. And I know Michael Morales is good, but did Gilbert really give it his all that fight? Did he really? Or was there some FBI? Does the FBI need to look into that fight? Because Michael Morales literally walked Gilbert Burns down, knocked him out in a round like it was nothing. I barely remember that fight. It was a flash. Morales, he TKO'd Neil Magny. He hit him with a spinning elbow, rocked him, started beating the shit out of him, finished him with strikes. He might be one of the tallest welterweights that I've seen. He might be one of the tallest guys in the weight class. I'm guessing. He's going to be towering over Sean Brady. But speaking of that Neil Magny fight, Neil Magny did have Michael Morales pressed against the fence for the whole first 4 minutes in round one. I remember Neil Magny had 4 minutes of control time against the fence against Michael Morales the first 4 minutes of round one. And I'm just saying, you know who's way better at control time and wrestling and getting takedowns from body locks than Neil Magny? You know who's way better? Sean Brady. Sean Brady. This guy, what he did to Leon Edwards his last fight. He should have got fined for what he did to Leon Edwards in his own home country, in England, in Manchester. Are you kidding me? He destroyed him. Leon Edwards couldn't even land anything except in round one. He took him down so easily. He was landing ground and pound from top half guard. He was going for Kimura attempts. He was going for back takes. Sean Brady has the best top control. He is the best grappler in the welterweight division. Usman can take you down, does nothing with it, except stay in your guard like he did against Buckley. Couple elbows and punches here and there. He can't pass guard. Unless it was against Woodley years ago. Colby Covington, he can wrestle, but he can't get a submission to save his life. He doesn't know what a rear naked choke is. He doesn't know what top control is. He doesn't get full mount. He just takes you down, rinse and repeat. No top control. Bilal Muhammad. Even he got his back taken by Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards took Bilal Muhammad's back. Usman's back. Put Colby in bad spots. He didn't do that to Sean Brady. Not even close. Sean Brady trains with Joe Pyfer. He's from Philly, and he's going to smoke Michael Morales like a Philly. No, it's going to be a close fight. He's going to smoke him like a Philly cigar, but it's going to be a close fight. It should be. There should be back and forth. I think it's going to get scary on both sides. But come on. Michael Morales, has he had the octagon time to fight someone who's getting better? Sean Brady? Someone who I consider the dark horse of this division? He's the dark horse of this division. Let's just be real here. He's getting better. People always bring up the Bilal Muhammad loss. Sean Brady he leveled up from that fight. I think he's won 2 fights since. He beat Kelvin he won 3. Didn't he beat Gastelum, Burns, and now Leon Edwards? He's on a 3-fight win streak. Only guy to finish Edwards in the UFC. He's the dark horse of this division. He's getting better. It should be Brady versus Gary. But I made a video on it. Ian Gary gets humiliated and exposed for ducking Sean Brady. Ian Gary ducked Sean Brady. But it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. As long as this fight's on this card, I'm happy. This card might be too good to be true. But anyway, I'm going Sean Brady. Does he get the sub, though? Michael Morales is dangerous. I think Sean Brady is rolling the dice here. I think Michael Morales has the best chance to beat Sean Brady than the bigger names in the top 5. Sean Brady hasn't been studying Morales. Morales just popped up onto the scene. This guy's dangerous. Sean Brady is the only guy with courage right now willing to fight these guys ranked number 8. Hold up. They're screwing our guy Brady over. He just beat the former champ Leon Edwards and finished him in his home country. And he has to fight number 8 Michael Morales coming off an Apex main event win. These fucking matchmakers. These fucking matchmakers. They want Brady to lose. They want the Ecuadorian fans. Nothing wrong with wanting the Ecuadorian fans. But come on, we don't need to always screw over the American fighters and give them number 8 after they beat the former champ. But I'm going Sean Brady by sub or decision. He has that nasty guillotine from full mount, which is wicked. I'm going, but he knows he has to prove a point. He knows they're going to screw him over for a title shot. Because if Ian Gary beats Bilal, they're going to give it to him. Sean Brady has to make a statement. Fuck it. Sean Brady, 3rd round submission. 3rd round choke. Probably rear naked choke or guillotine. Maybe that mounted guillotine again. But this is the most dangerous fight for Sean Brady to take. This is the most dangerous. He has the most to lose here. Moving on to the co-main event. Damn. 2 super fights back to back in this co and this main. All right. Valentina Shevchenko versus Zhang Weili. Shevchenko, you're a good fighter. I consider you the GSP of women's MMA. You're well-rounded. You do everything perfect. You do everything right. And you do just enough to skate by. You'll use your striking to get a takedown. You'll stay in their guard. You won't really risk passing guard. You'll land your strikes in there. Stand up. Really good Muay Thai fighter, Shevchenko. Really good Muay Thai fighter. Probably uses her kicks a little more than Weili. Uses a lot of spin moves. Spinning back fist is dangerous from Shevchenko. The spinning back kick is there. You know? Shevchenko's got some moves. The bullet, right? She's got some speed. But her fights have been getting closer. Arguably lost to Ferro. But that fight was so fucking boring. That fight was so fucking boring. No one cared. No one scored it. I fell asleep during that fight. But Shevchenko's good. The GSP of women's MMA, you know. Can do it all. But not willing to really kick into that next gear and go for the finish. In my opinion. But she's the champ. Put on exciting fights with Nunes. Good scraps. Beat a lot of good names. Shevchenko's good. But let's talk about Zhang Weili. I'm picking Zhang Weili. I normally don't pick against Shevchenko, the bullet. But Zhang Weili is one of the hardest female hitting fighters I've ever seen. Ever. She literally gave JJ a hematoma. I'll never forget that fight. I thought I was watching an alien on the screen. We all remember that fight. Weili hit JJ so hard in the head over 5 rounds. The hematoma was like this fucking big. I thought JJ was done. I thought she wouldn't make it out of the octagon that night. Hardest hitting women's fighter there is. Zhang Weili, right? Not only that, she could wrestle her ass off. Basically out-wrestled Tatiana Suarez. Out-wrestled Suarez. Like, are you kidding me? That's just wild if you're out-wrestling Suarez, all right? Suarez is legit. Not only that, can get submissions, goes for sub attempts, is strong as hell. Zhang Weili moving up might bring that lighter woman's skill into the fight. And I know Valentina's called the bullet, but there might be a speed disadvantage here. Weili might be a little faster here. We'll see. Coming up from the lighter weight class. We'll see about it. I don't think Shevchenko's going to have an easy time getting those takedowns. Look up all the fighters trying to take down Weili and see how that goes for them. But Shevchenko might be the better point fighter at a distance. I'm going Zhang Weili. Like, if I'm looking at the two, I got to pick the more dangerous of the two. And Zhang Weili is way more dangerous to me. And Weili is so well-rounded, just like Shevchenko. Shevchenko's well-rounded. But can she really put Weili out? Can she really stop Weili from landing those nasty knockout punches? Those hematoma punches? I don't think so. This is a tough fight to pick, though. Shit. I think I want Weili to win because it'd be more of a scrap. It'd be more entertaining. But I honestly think she's the best women's fighter right now. Shevchenko's been in way too many close fights lately. I'll say that. That's what I'm going to say. Yeah, Weili, when she wins, it's very dominant. Unless it's that JJ fight where she gave her a fucking hematoma. The worst, most gruesome injury I've ever seen in the UFC. Maybe besides the leg snaps. I'm going Zhang Weili, 5-round decision. But if there is a knockout in the fight, I'm going Weili. I'm going Weili, alright? Alright. Oh shit, moving on to the main event. The big super fight, here we are. We got JDM, Jack Della Maddalena versus Islam Makhachev. What a scrap, what a scrap. Where did JDM appear from, right? Where did he come from? Well, he was scrapping with a lot of the strikers in the division. Won some close decisions, like against Kevin Holland. Then he got a fight against Gilbert Burns. And hey, he proved how tough he was. He survived in the scrambles with Burns. Got back up to his feet. Kneed Gilbert Burns in the face. Knocked him out. Impressive as hell, right? I'm like, damn, this guy's good. He's scrappy, he's scrambly on the ground. He strings together the boxing punches and the boxing combinations. He goes to the body a lot. And then after the Gilbert Burns fight, he's out for like a year and a half, but gets a title fight against Bilal. Because Shevchenko got injured. So I'm like, what the? Doesn't deserve it, but alright. JDM's cool. I picked JDM to win, actually. I picked JDM to win because Bilal doesn't have the submissions. That was one of the best fights this year. Like, entertaining-wise, violence-wise, that fight was pretty brutal. JDM was... Shout out to Bilal, too, for fighting like a bully. His nickname is the bully. He fought like a bully. He actually stood in there and scrapped. Bilal's a scrapper. Bilal is not boring. I can't call him boring after that fight anymore. But anyway, JDM hit Bilal with knees, nasty hooks to the body, counter right hands. He was switching stances on him. He was moving around so much. That's actually pretty freaky how fast and how much JDM was moving around. That's fucking crazy. Especially while switching stances. But Bilal landed his own strikes. But you know what Bilal didn't do? He barely shot takedowns. He barely shot any takedowns. I'm like, what the fuck? And when he did shoot takedowns, he timed them well. And he had top control for a little bit. But somehow, JDM got his butterfly hooks and just shucked off Bilal Muhammad like it was nothing. Now, that's impressive by JDM. But I'm thinking, who the fuck is going to throw off Islam Makhachev like that? Like it's nothing. Who the fuck is just going to get one butterfly hook and send Islam Makhachev flying off of them and then they immediately get to stand up. Yeah, Islam had a close fight with Dustin Poirier. But, come on, he was taking him down. He took him down instantly. He went for the Kimura right away. And if I'm not mistaken, Islam's last 2 fights, he won by Darce choke. He won by Darce. I think JDM has the sicker style. The more violent style, but how are you going to be violent if Islam Makhachev is trying to Kimura you, is trying to Darce choke you, is tripping you down? How are you going to be violent if you're constantly fighting to get back up? He has more of a fight IQ than Belal Muhammad. Belal Muhammad is scrappy, probably has a better chin than Islam. Maybe more of a dog than Islam, but I think Islam has the fight IQ, and he's got the way better grappling. He's got submissions. Belal Muhammad fighting JDM, Belal Muhammad was on a huge decision streak. Islam Makhachev, 2 back-to-back Darce chokes in a row. I know. Moicano. I know. Dustin Poirier. Jack Della Maddalena's a welterweight. Those are lightweights, right? I agree. That's why the fight's fucking interesting. That's why this fight's so interesting. Some people think he has a style like Ilia Topuria. Some people think he's just a welterweight Topuria. I don't think they're that similar, but yeah, boxers. But this guy throws more knees. And probably has less power for his size than a Topuria, but we're going to find out. Does JDM really have that true knockout power? Or is he just a crisp, badass striker? I think he has decent power. But is that enough to just tag Islam, counter him here and there, and rock him and put him out? Does JDM have the power to do that? Yeah, I know Islam got slept before by a nobody. But the dude's fucking good. I think he can get a takedown right off the bat quick. I think he can hold Jack from top half guard. Yeah, Volk got up several times, right? Volk worked with Craig Jones and he was laughing and punching Islam. But Volk's body frame, it's like, does Volk have a neck to squeeze and choke out? Volk's already on the ground. He's so short. How can you take down someone who's already on the ground, basically? You know? Volk's like a hobbit. Islam might have a better time taking down the fighter with the longer limbs, the taller guy. He might. JDM is not going to be looking for submissions of his own. JDM's just going to try to scramble, spaz, scramble, spaz. I don't know how he keeps doing it, but he does it. Just flung Belal off him like it was nothing. Flung Belal Muhammad off of him like it was absolutely nothing. So, it's going to be a scrap. It's going to be a war. I can't wait to see what happens. Is Islam going to get rocked? Or is JDM, is he going to get stopped? Is he going to get out-grappled? Is he going to... Is Islam Makhachev going to Darce choke him and put him to sleep? Islam is strong as fuck. We can't deny that. How strong is welterweight Islam Makhachev? It's like I really see this as a grappler versus striker matchup. Yeah, they could fight everywhere. Yeah, that's so old age of thinking. That's an old age way of thinking. Striker versus grappler. Everyone's well-rounded now. This is a striker versus grappler fight. JDM, Jack is going to put Islam Makhachev's chin to the test. And Islam is going to put JDM's grappling to the test. If either guy wins, I don't think... Well, you know what? Islam has nasty head kicks. He could definitely rock JDM. He could fake a takedown. JDM dips to the side. Belal Muhammad almost caught him with the head kick, but I don't think he has the head kick ability like Islam. When has Bilal landed head kicks? Islam landed a head kick on Volkanovski and knocked him out. I think it's a 60-40 fight. 60% Islam Makhachev, 40% Jack. I'm not saying this is who I'm rooting for. But if I had to pick the winner, not who I'm rooting for, the actual winner, I'm going Islam Makhachev. I don't see how Jack is going to get up when Islam Makhachev is on the ground looking for Darce, looking for back take, anaconda choke, Kimura, you name it. The dude's got good grappling. And welterweight, not welterweight like Khabib says, welterweight Islam Makhachev might be scary, even though Jack is a fucking violent, brutal fighter. Badass scrap. Badass scrap. I know mostly everyone's picking Jack. I know. Everyone's picking Jack. But I think Islam has a few more ways to win. I do. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm live streaming this whole card. I can't wait. I'll catch you guys during the fight. Peace.